Walk right in the middle. Take it in, being seen.
Okay.
What's going on in your mind right now?
Well, I'm nervous.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot. It's been warm in the room. And I guess I'm worried I'm going to start sweating more.
So what if you sweat more?
I guess nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Own it. People sweat.
Yeah.
What else?
As you were talking to Alex, I was thinking I have a lot of the same issues and problems, and it just made me, I'm getting emotional already.
Don't resist it.
Okay.
Feel it. Notice the reflex. I'm getting emotional. How many of us do this? No, stay with it.
Yeah.
You're not here to please anyone.
Okay.
It's not a test. There is no succeeding. There is no failing. You can't do this wrong up here. Meaning whatever comes up is valuable data. Like even the resisting of feeling is valuable data. Now it illustrates it. You cannot fail.
Okay.
But I would ask you is, why is there that reflex of hiding it? Why don't you want to be seen like that?
I guess I've always been like exactly what you said, a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been since I was little, smart, AP classes, straight A's, and I think that expectation has been hard. And I've been looked at as very strong, and it's hard to keep it up.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of pressure all the time.
Yeah.
Do you ever allow yourself to feel what you're feeling now and just break down and not feel all strong? Why? This would be something on the external, by the way, and it sounds a little counterintuitive, but I'd suggest it. It won't get to the cause, but if there's something like that you're just stuffing down, schedule in some time, or even pick a day where you allow yourself to feel it. Same with, hey, give yourself a couple hours where you just give yourself full permission to feel sad, to even feel sorry for yourself, to take in the fact that, hey, this is a lot and I'm dealing with it, like to just break down. You'll see, you'll experience some relief. Now, you don't want to get stuck there, obviously, and it's on the external, but sprinkling that in can just alleviate so much. Now, what I would say for you here, because this is a very common pattern, right? People pleaser, perfectionist, and ultimately putting all these requirements. Well, at a most general level, this is why letting go is so important. Because if you think about it, especially say self-love, right? Just loving yourself, being there for yourself, all aspects. What are we after? We're after unconditional love. But the way we try to chase unconditional love is by meeting all these conditions. Right? I will finally love myself if I do this, and if I'm strong, and if I please this person, if I live up to this, and if I get the perfect reputation thing here, and this, and this, and then. No, you don't get it by adding more conditions. Self-love is ultimately identify all the conditions, let go of them, and then it's unconditional love. So you want to identify those conditions. But the mindset I would also give you is, if you're playing a game that isn't fun, stop playing it. For real. If right now you're playing this game of, again, from a young age, got to succeed, look how well I'm doing, I'm taking care of this, I'm so responsible, I'm dealing with this and this and this, and you're putting all this pressure, if it's not making you happy, drop some of it. But this is where you got to identify some of the things you're trying to live up to or do well at, and ask yourself, is it really that important? Could I perhaps give a little less of a fuck about some things? For real. And can I allow a little bit of chaos into my life? Could I allow also a little bit of unknown into my life? Could I be okay with not everything being so perfect out there because it led you to feeling this? So the strategy is flawed.
Yeah.
What's so bad about not always being on top of it, not living up to all the perfect standards and requirements you place upon you.
Well, now that you talked about it and I started thinking about it, I didn't realize it till you said it, that being like a straight A student and having to be quiet like in the classroom, and it made me into this person where I feel like to this day like I cannot speak boundaries, and it's been a problem in my relationships, and now I feel the need to really change that because I don't want my son to be the way I am, and I think that's why my anxiety went through the roof. Like, it's been an added pressure to be a good mom on top of just me wanting to be a good person and a good successful woman.
Well, great awareness, by the way. Just when it comes to parenthood or motherhood here, if you think, and this is the way I approach it with my kids, if I think what's a good parent, it's not necessarily what's good on paper. Meaning, we think being a good parent is doing all of it perfectly and being the perfect role model who's on top of everything, who's just always in a good mood, who never breaks down. But is it? Because what might that also instill in your child? Wait a minute, because if you think about it, you're a kid, you come into this world, you're discovering life. Are you like, oh, it's hard, okay, great. You're discovering your emotions. You don't know how to regulate them at first. You're like, what's going on inside of me? I'm triggered, right? It's like you're realizing all this. You get really mad, you have breakdowns, and then you see that your parent never does that. What might that say? Well, why doesn't she feel that and break down like me? What's wrong with me? Why am I not like her? I'm not good enough. Something's wrong with me. There's some kind of defect inside. The way I personally view it is, no, being a good parent is ultimately showing all aspects of you, including when you break down, including when you're not on top of it, and then showing your child the healthy way to deal with it. But it's not sheltering them from it. Ultimately, otherwise, you're ultimately people-pleasing your child. You're creating the perfect parent front, but it's not really you. And then also even think on a connection level with your kid. Who does your kid get to know? The front, not you. So why not just not shelter? Now, of course, common sense here too, but I show it. Like, I'll show my daughters like times where I do break down, and yeah, I still break down at times. I'm not perfect either. Way better than the past, but I'm not perfect. I show them times where I get frustrated. I show them times where I get mad. And then I show them how I deal with it. Don't shelter it.
Okay.
You know? Mm-hmm. And you'll see, even what I've seen on a coaching level, some of the things that clients resonate with the most, or that even you would resonate with the most, aren't just, say I just said a bunch of stories up here, and all the stories were about different successes I've had in life. Look at how great I am here and there, and all these stories of how well I'm doing. You'd be like, okay, cool, but the stories you actually really like the most are the stories where I'm not doing well. The stories where I'm like, hey, like even before, hey, I still get triggered at times. What does it all tell you? Oh, even Julien still gets triggered? That means it's okay. It gives you some relief and some permission to actually be you, versus there's something wrong with me. Same with your kid. Mm-hmm. Now with the boundaries, why is there fear of asserting boundaries?
The fear of rejection, because it's more with romantic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of...
Give me one example. What comes to mind?
I guess when all of this started, when I started noticing, is one of my very first relationships, and I couldn't set the boundary of that it was a problem for me if this person had a lot of other female friends, and I was scared that that person was gonna get mad at that and then not want to be with me because of it.
Okay. Now, at a surface level with that, say, this is important, say we take that situation and say you assert that boundary. Hey, it's not okay with me that you have all these female friends. And say he wasn't okay with that and he left you. That would actually be good. Why? Because that means you're not a good match. Your wins are not aligned. Now, it would still suck because you're like, well, I wish they were aligned, but they're not. And you determined it sooner than later.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're delaying the inevitable. So when you assert a boundary on something that really matters and is important to you, because I've seen people also take it way too far and they're just looking for any little thing to assert a boundary. No. But on something that's really important, either the person will be okay with it and you come closer, or not, and then you determine we're not a good fit. And that's also the approach to friendships and relationships. It's don't take the people pleaser approach. Please like me, please like me, please like me. Screen instead. Here is me, and then see, are they into it or not? And if not, be happy you determined it fast versus later down the road. So assertive, it's something that's important, I would say that right off the bat. For real. And even in the future, if you find yourself in another relationship and it's like that, right off the bat. And then you don't waste any time. All those things are the most important to you, put it on the table right off the bat. Because then you see. But then there's the fear where you're putting all these authentic things out there that are important. You're ultimately putting your heart on a sleeve, and you're like, here. What could happen? Someone could slap it away and reject you for it, as we said. But here you can't also take it personally. What are the facts? The win, not aligned. But our mind will twist it into a story. No, he rejected you because of, it fills in the blanks. You're not good enough, etc. No. Sometimes rejection is there's simply no natural chemistry between the two. And that's it. And it means nothing when it comes to you or your self-worth. And that too, on a deeper level, people in relationships don't enhance you or diminish you when it comes to your self-worth as a human. You're good enough regardless. You're good enough if you're single, you're good enough if you're in a relationship. You're good enough if someone even breaks up with you. You don't lose anything in terms of your self-worth. You're still good enough. Remember that. Now, with you, let's do a quick exercise when it comes to asserting boundaries. Okay. And one little side note, the other very important person or thing you must assert boundaries with is that little voice in your head. It's not all external. Meaning, yeah, people out here might be doing things that are not okay, but if you audit what you say to yourself in here, it's often a lot worse. And that also means having strong boundaries with yourself. Okay? Now, tell the crowd, I don't care what you think of me.
I don't care what you think of me.
Tell me, looking at me in the eyes, I don't care what you think of me.
I don't care what you think of me.
You don't?
Maybe a little.
Own it. Own it. I don't care what you think of me.
I don't care what you think of me.
I don't like you.
I don't care what you think of me.
I really like you.
I still don't care what you think of me.
You suck. You're the worst client I've ever taken up here. Ugh.
I don't care what you think of me.
Okay. Now, with this one here, especially self-worth-wise, great job, by the way, but audit the ones, too, that trigger. And with this, I gave two examples, meaning you suck, you're great. You got to let go of the attachment to both. Not just the negative, the positive, too. It doesn't enhance you.
Now, before things start getting intense here, if you're looking to go through a similar process yourself and receive direct feedback from me personally, no matter where you find yourself in the world, then click the link below this video right now and apply for online coaching. This is my signature program, so click the link and I'll see you in there.
I avoid feeling discomfort.
Why?
It's much easier to please someone else, feel
The discomfort out there.
self-hatred toward myself.
It's a good point, but the problem or issue there is, yes, externally, it's easier to please to avoid the external temporary discomfort. But if you avoid it externally, you get it inside, and it's much worse, and it stays with you.
I'm aware of it now.
Yeah. Because ultimately, it's you can either be rejected by someone out here or by yourself in here. And that's ultimately the way to view even interactions. It's the people pleaser, it's lose, win. I don't care if I lose as long as other people win. Like me, like me, like me. Someone could take it on the other side of the spectrum where they're like, I don't care about anyone out here, you can all lose as long as I win. Both are toxic. If there's a lose in there, everyone loses. The ideal is win-win. It's, hey, let's be me, honor me, try to find the win-win. But sometimes if you can't, don't compromise ever your win inside. And that's the thing, it's don't sell out. Don't give your power away, and be willing to sit through those uncomfortable situations. And that actually, great awareness there too, because that'll happen when you assert a boundary. It is not comfortable.
Yes, I was going to say when you said it.
Yeah, and the time too, where you bring it up, I would suggest bringing it up at the time where you want to bring it up the least, meaning when things are going great. Because you'll see, when you get frustrated, that's when suddenly you start thinking of all the boundaries. I should have told like that. No, because then you're probably already triggered. Maybe your partner is too. That's the worst time. Instead, wait for when you're on really good terms and then ruin the good times. Be like, hey, like literally, it's like you're joking around and be like, hey, so remember yesterday with this thing? And then you bring it up. Now, in terms of the how-to bring it up, I would suggest reading a book called Crucial Conversations. When it comes to human connections, especially relationships, it's the best book that I found on the external side of having crucial conversations or communicating those boundaries. And you'll see there's a lot of talk of facts versus stories, different words, what words are more triggering, because we'll tend to slip those in, and ultimately how to keep the conversation as neutral as possible while still getting your point across. Because if someone's triggered in there, including yourself, then you cease to both be solution-oriented. Yeah. Meaning it's no longer about what you're talking about, now it's about getting rid of these triggered feelings. So you gotta keep it grounded to get the point across. And you can be gentle about it too, right? Asserting boundaries doesn't mean, because that's what we think, it's being mean, but for the greater good. No, you can be very gentle about it. You can be very nice about it, but there has to be a boundary and there has to be consequences to not sticking with the boundary. Otherwise, you're just begging. So even if you were to say, take that situation, assert, hey, I'm not okay with, female friends, etc. If he's then like, yeah, I don't care, then there has to be a consequence. If you're just like, oh, you don't care, okay, and then things go on, that's not a boundary. Now, funny enough, it's the same with parenting too, right? When people think also gentle parenting, it's asserting boundaries, but being gentle about those boundaries. And Crucial Conversations is a great book for it. And also the inner work side here of letting go, it's remaining grounded yourself when doing it. And realizing that in the end, what are you truly scared of when asserting a boundary? It's what you said. It's a feeling of discomfort. You're ultimately scared of a feeling. That's it. The thing we're all so scared of is just a feeling. Even with anxiety up here, whatever you're all scared of, I just don't want to feel this. We're scared of a feeling. It's not that scary. And that's why changing your relationship with feeling, by letting go, sets you free. You matter. And it's not selfish to love yourself and respect yourself. What people pleasers hate. A perspective too that I would give you, and this is one I take, is, so I have 2 daughters, right? But I don't view it like I have 2 kids. In reality, I have 4. Who are the other 2?
You and your wife.
Bingo. My wife and I. And I include me in the mix. Include you in the mix. You're also important. And you got to make sure all the kids are happy, they have what they need, they're taken care of. And if you just put the kids and not you, and again, that's the over-sacrificing parent, everything for the kids. Are they happy? Happy doesn't matter about me. Well, then you, your inner child, you're not getting yourself what you want. And that'll eat you up inside too. And that's also as a parent, where then we feel guilty. It's like taking time for me, but isn't it all about the kids? No, that's when it also increases the quality of time you spend with your kids. And it's not selfish to value yourself, to take time for you. And ultimately, when you think of all those requirements, set your own. Which ones are for me and which ones are for others? And the ones you set that are your own, remember, they don't enhance you either. You're good enough whether you do everything perfectly, you're good enough whether you don't. You're good enough whether you're responsible, you're good enough whether you aren't. You're good enough whether you're rich, you're good enough whether you're poor, you're good enough regardless, self-worth wise. Same with self-love. Don't withhold self-love. That's the ultimate torture that we all do. I will resign from loving myself as much until I accomplish this. Why are you doing that? And you're the only one doing it. We all do. We ultimately lock parts of ourselves behind different goals, like little doors, right? Hey, when I'm finally in a relationship, then I'll love myself. So you have the relationship door with self-love behind. When I make X amount of money, then I'll be the shit. Yes, you lock that behind. You know, when I finally let go of everything, you put even letting go as a requirement. When I've mastered self-help, when I've moved, when I get the promotion, when people see that I'm cool, when I get the approval. Screw that, reclaim it. That's neediness too, by the way. It's you're chasing a part of yourself. If you're needy about someone even, please love me, you've attached self-love to that person.
How do you set boundaries with yourself? What are the consequences?
That with yourself, it's going to be a foot down, and it'll just be a inner no. So say there's that little voice like, you suck, da 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 da. It's like, enough. No. And then if it keeps so, say no. Now this will create space inside, but that voice is still going to be there. But space is a good first step. And now that you're less identified, the ultimate consequence is letting go of it and melting it. It's like, no, and it's gone. And that's actually what you notice with this type of work is that that little voice inside never gets quiet. Now, it'll be less heavy, but don't try to get rid of that voice. With this type of work, what happens, though, is that the theme of that voice changes. The reason most of us want to quiet the mind is because we hate what the mind is saying. It's not nice. Well, what if it was nice? What if instead of, you suck, look, everyone's staring and judging you, you loser. What if it was like, you're so awesome, look at you, yes. And you have this inner cheerleader. Would any of you be like, oh, Julian, I just want to quiet this inner cheerleader. It's too loving and encouraging. I hate it. No. That's what happens. The theme changes. It's less heavy, less loud, but then it's loving and encouraging. Aim for that. Okay? Now, let's do a last thing with you. Hit on the anxiety, and just because it's fun, stand in the middle and scream as loud as you can. Now, before you do what just kicked in, what's the fear?
Just shyness.
Oh. Why? What's scary about screaming? Ultimately, if you want to know why it's also so scary, one is it's loud, and we tend to disown that. But two, screaming shows a more vulnerable and personal aspect of our personality. The same as singing. Right now, it's easier to talk in front of people because it's in your comfort zone and you talk in front of many people in life, so it's known. You're used to putting that part of you out there. But then there are parts that are more personal, more reserved, and we hold that back. Singing and screaming is one. Why is that scary, though? And here, let's get a spotlight. We'll make it. Yes. Let's get a good scream right in the spotlight. But yes, what were you saying? In general?
Just in general, I'm not a loud person.
Why?
I don't know.
Why box yourself in like that?
I think it all ties in back to the boundaries, feeling uncomfortable about it.
Okay. Let's try this. Scream out loud, loud as you can, I matter.
As loud as I can. I matter.
Good job. Let's do 20 times louder. That was good, though.
I matter.
Okay, good. What's that voice saying inside? Is it saying good or is it saying ugh?
It's like,
Okay.
I mean, I know I could be louder, but I feel like I can't get the voice out. I don't know why.
What's scary about being louder? Why is a part of you keeping it at a certain volume? What is it protecting you from?
Just what everyone's gonna think, I guess.
What are you scared they're gonna think?
They could laugh, or they could just, I guess just laugh. It's like part of my shyness, part of why I'm not a loud person in general.
All right. Let's try this. Everyone, just for 5 seconds, laugh at her. Like mock her. Okay?
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
You're still alive.
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually that scary. That was just a lie that your anxiety was feeding you. Once more, face fear's bluff. So if that's the worst,
Okay.
then you're all good. We can even check. Is everyone okay with her screaming loud?
Yes.
But really, really loud?
Yes.
Or is there a certain limit?
No limit. No.
Are you sure? Or are you people pleasing us right now? You're sure? Okay. So everyone's on your side.
Okay.
In fact, we want it.
We all want it. Everyone wants it?
Yes.
Yeah. I want it. They want it.
Okay.
So you have full permission out here to go as loud as humanly possible. I matter. Go.
I matter.
Better, a lot better. But there's way more room. Let's try one.
There is.
Oh, yes, there is.
Okay.
Now, one thing here too, by the way, when I do these types of demonstrations, speaking loudly, screaming, the same with I'm just not a very loud person. When I say don't box yourself in, it doesn't mean you must always be loud all the time, by the way, right? I'm not talking the seminar mode all the time. Like if I answer the phone, I'm never like, this is Julien, and I'm really loud, ever. But if I had to, I could. And that's the test. You want the entire range unlocked. And then you can choose. But that's also the difference. If you think of quiet and charismatic versus quiet and non-charismatic, quiet and charismatic is someone who chooses to be quiet. Quiet and not charismatic is someone who has to be quiet because they can't be loud. They're too scared to be loud. So don't box yourself in either as I'm this type of person. Why not be quiet and loud? Why not be both? When you choose to be quiet, you're quiet. When you're loud, go all out. As opposed to, no, I'm only this. So let's break the box. Let's break the comfort zone. Ready? I matter as loud as you can and try to relax into it. Ready? Go.
I matter.
My needs matter.
My needs matter.
Now try saying it a little bit more. My needs matter.
My needs matter.
Louder. I don't believe you. Do they?
My needs matter.
Do they?
My needs matter.
I still don't believe you. My needs matter.
My needs matter.
Louder. Let's do a scream. Just really loud. Go.
Just a scream?
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
Good. Now let's try this. I'm going to put this in front of you so they won't see your face. I want you to scream, my needs matter as loud as you can. Go.
My needs matter.
Already better, huh? Interesting, huh? Let's do 10 times louder. Same thing. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
My needs matter.
Ooh, good job. Good job. Now with this here, it also illustrates this is the hold that other people have on you. If they don't see me, they can't judge me, we give ourselves permission. Do it without that, right off the bat. Okay? But hey, great job. Any last thing going on in your head right now? Or any last questions for me?
No questions. It feels a little freeing too.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I've always wanted to be not in my box. When I see people out and about and I see them dancing, being loud, like there's a part of me that wants to be that, but I feel like I can't be that.
You can. Definitely.
Well, you're
You
showing
have
me
proof
I
here.
can, yeah.
But do remember, the one twist would be, don't try to become that. Realize that you already are that, but you've just blocked it off.
Yeah.
Meaning, there's nothing missing for all of you to be loud, to be charismatic, to be expressive, to dance, to sing. There's nothing missing. Most of you were probably louder as a baby than you are now. All right? Did you do vocal lessons as a baby to learn how to be this loud? No. You're born with it. Same as a kid. You were probably much more charismatic as a kid than you are now as an adult. Again, we come into this world like, yay, and then after a while we start caring too much and we start crafting this shell. And then we're like, well, I want to be charismatic. How do I build up to this? What can I add to my shell? No, it's removing, not adding. Same with confidence. It's removing, not adding. Change the approach. Get back in touch. Like, you have that inside of you. There's an inner you, an inner child screaming, let me out. Let's scream. Let's be silly. Let's dance. Let's be free. Yes. And we're like, no.
Yeah.
Let him out. There's nothing missing. It's already there. You just have to realize it. The same with you being good enough, by the way. You can never achieve that. You have to realize that you already are, and you let go of all the lies saying that you are not good enough. That's this work. But for you, the last thing I would say then is make sure you take in the win. You were sitting there, you said, anxiety and stuff. You came up here. You were raw, you were real. You let the emotions out. You introspected. You screamed your needs matter to a crowd. It's loud. You crushed it. Don't rob yourself of the win. So once more, also bringing your awareness to that voice in your head. Is it talking you up right now or talking you down? Let the win land. Celebrate every win. What I personally do is, and I have my clients even do this, like even today, you should all be able to celebrate 50 different wins today. Now, if you have trouble, it means one, your RAS, your selective focus, probably isn't zoning in on the wins. And two, the bar is probably too high. Where there's a lot of things you did, like even brushing your teeth, and you're like, it's just brushing my teeth. No, that's a win. Why didn't you celebrate, hey, I'm brushing my teeth? Yes. Have big goals, but celebrate the wins, no matter how small. Take it. Don't take all the wins. Get that wave of positive momentum going. And this was a big win. So give her a hand, everybody.
Now, what you just watched here is just a small piece of a larger system and process. So what you want to do now is click this video here to see exactly what I'm talking about and how it all fits together.